I step into Mr. Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore in my mind and immediately feel the hush of old pages and the glow of computer screens. Robin Sloan's novel has been described as a love letter to both the written word and also the technology that's made it possible for us to read our favorite books. In this reflection and analysis, I explore how Sloan bridges past and present, ancient books versus modern code, in a story that celebrates the enduring magic of books, the thrill of technology, and above all, the importance of curiosity. The tone of my journey is somber and subdued, lit by the warm golden light of Penumbra's bookstore and the flicker of a laptop screen. As a lifelong reader and child of the digital age, Gen Z, I find Mr. Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore speaking to both sides of my soul, showing that the old and the new can not only coexist, but enrich each other. Clay Janin, the novel's young narrator, loses his tech job in the Great Recession and takes a midnight shift at Mr. Penumbra's musty bookshop. At first glance, it's a dusty sanctuary of books, yet hidden within is a 500-year-old literary cult chasing the key to immortality by decoding an ancient codex. Clay soon enlists his tech-savvy friends, harnessing everything from 3D modeling to Google's supercomputers to crack the code behind these enigmatic volumes. In Sloan's words, embracing modern digital technology doesn't mean giving up values of the past. Page and screen make peace here. Coded manuscripts and Kindles sit cozily together in this narrative, which playfully explores the tension and harmony between old knowledge and new methods. We watch Clay and Kat, his girlfriend who works at Google, use a high-tech book scanner to digitize secret tomes, its robotic arms treating the fragile pages with surprising tenderness. The arms stroke the pages, caress them, smooth them down. This thing loves books. This striking scene sums up Sloan's ethos. Technology itself, in the right hands, becomes a tool to honor and preserve literature, not destroy it. By bouncing back and forth between the real world and the virtual world, the new and the old, the novel suggests that innovation and tradition can illuminate each other. The past isn't discarded, it's digitized, studied, and cherished with the help of modern curiosity. From the moment Clay first meets Mr. Penumbra, the old proprietor asks a question that sets the tone. What do you seek in these shelves? That line felt like it was addressed to me, the reader, as much as to Clay. The novel overflows with reverence for the written word and the space that houses it. Walking through Penumbra's store feels like wandering in an ancient forest. The shelves were packed close together, and it felt like I was standing at the border of a forest, full of wolves and witches and dagger-wielding bandits. Sloan's descriptive prose captures how a bookstore at night becomes enchanted ground, where each spine on the shelf exudes possibility. It's not hard to sense the presence of the sleeping spirits when walking the stacks in a library, dragging your fingers across the spines. The novel is unabashed in its bookish romance. One character lovingly calls books "my best friends," and even the ageless Penumbra teases that our books still do not require batteries. It is a slender advantage. As a reader, I did actually smile at that jab, a quiet affirmation that printed books have an intrinsic charm that need not compete with technology's flashy charm. Sloan's story itself physically embodied this charm. The hardcover edition was printed with a glow-in-the-dark cover, as if to insist that even in 2012, a book could literally shine. The love of reading in Mr. Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore is not nostalgic escapism. It's portrayed as a continuing source of wonder in the present day. In our era of distractions, Sloan reminds us that a book still invites continuous, deep attention, a rare, almost sacred act now. Through Clay's eyes, we experience the joy of discovery that only a great book or a great data set can spark. Curiosity is the engine of this entire book, the golden thread weaving tech and books together. Clay cannot resist the forbidden volumes on Penumbra's highest shelves, even though the message is clear: do your job and don't ask questions. Who could abide by that in a 24-hour bookstore full of riddles? Clay's curiosity gets the best of him, and thank goodness it does, otherwise we wouldn't have this story. The moment he peeks into those strange books, he discovers they contain puzzles upon puzzles, a secret society's centuries-long quest for knowledge. Far from being punished, Clay's inquisitiveness is exactly what Penumbra has been seeking. It appears that Mr. Penumbra has been waiting for someone like him, with his curiosity, tenacity, and resourcefulness. This validation of curiosity struck me deeply. It's as if the novel is saying every generation needs its curious souls to carry the torch of knowledge forward. Clay doesn't abandon his tech instincts when he dives into ancient mysteries. Instead, he brings them along. His team's hacker mentality and Penumbra's bibliophile wisdom turns out to be complementary facets of the same noble impulse, to learn, to question, to connect the dots. The book's climax beautifully underscores the value of lifelong learning over any single secret uncovered. After racing through archives and algorithms, the protagonists learn that true immortality isn't a magic formula, but something far more human. There is no immortality that is not built on friendship and work done with care. The prize was not eternal life, but the fellowship and knowledge gained along the way. Even Kat, Clay's Google genius girlfriend, is humbled. She muses, "I always thought the key to immortality would be like tiny robots fixing things in your brain, not books." The novel gently corrects that the tech optimist view, our creations and relationships are what we endure. By the end, Clay has blended his digital skills with a book lover's heart. He remains a web designer by day, but also becomes an amateur scholar by night, researching Mr. Penumbra's life and writing down the story we've just read. His character doesn't flip from tech to print, he grows to encompass both. In the world of Mr. Penumbra, curiosity is a lifelong pursuit, a code one is never finished decoding. As one passage reflects, the books I love most are like open cities, with all sorts of ways to wander in. That openness to new ideas, new technologies, and old wisdom defines the journey of Clay and his friends. It's a journey that mirrors our own continuous learning, urging us to keep our lives an open city for knowledge. I close the book, or my Kindle, and I find myself in a pensive midnight mood. Mr. Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore feels like, in the end, a promise that the act of seeking knowledge can span any century. Sloane masterfully shows that just because the form of books is changing, their essence isn't lost. Clay's story bridges Gutenberg's era and Google's era, and in doing so, it reassures me that my own love for both paperback novels and digital media isn't contradictory at all. In a somber, reflective key, the novel suggests that as long as curiosity survives, so will the legacy of those sleeping spirits on the shelves. Mr. Penumbra gives the parting wisdom, just make something that will last, and then in 100 years or 1,000, someone will find it at 3 a.m. exactly when they need it the most, and you'll live again. In that subdued declaration lies the heart of the story. It's an affirmation that books, ideas, and human curiosity are immortal in their own way. As I imagine the glow of Penumbra's bookstore sign fading into the night, I'm left with a resolve to carry my love of reading and learning forward, adding my own thread to the unbroken spine of history, hopeful that someday, somewhere, a curious soul will find our stories waiting for them.